I've got this thing for you. And I literally just opened my hand and punched her in the face. Hi, we're Dudes in Space back with another thing this is.
Vidcast.
Alright, that works. I'm Joshua.
I'm Travis.
And I'm Phil.
We are back again with a vidcast. We have 2 new topics.
2 new topics have been added to the list.
The 2 new topics are stupid kid stories, which are stories of you as a stupid kid.
Stupid kid.
I've got a couple, I know.
I do.
I was a dumb kid.
Our other topic is
Tipping.
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 Hot topic.
So
Yeah.
those are on the list.
All you Europeans don't tip.
Yeah,
Really?
what's up with that?
That's a
But
thing.
we'll talk about
Oh.
it if it gets picked.
Okay.
And if you're interested in making some additions to that list, check out patreon.com/dudesinSpace. You're going to have something up there where you can make a suggestion.
You can do whatever that noise
Some
is.
weird typing noises. I don't know what you're typing on.
An old typewriter.
All right, let's pick our first topic.
All right. At random.
Stupid kid stories. Wow, what a coincidence. It's a new topic.
Yeah.
It got picked randomly.
That's stupid. Kid stories.
Just for the record, I want to be completely 100%.
Yeah. Are you going to spill the magic?
No, I was just saying the transparent. Just for the record, I want to be completely 100% all the way completely transparent.
You can't do that. You're opaque.
Well, I want to be transparent. I can be what I want.
Okay.
We do pick these randomly.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are randomly picked. We use a random number generator.
So, there you go.
I don't know if we had you fooled with that awesome graphic, but
I did make that graphic.
before we hit the record button, actually we had already pressed the record button and remembered that we have to do this at random. We quickly got on a random number generator.
.com.
That's not it.
Yeah.
All right, so stupid kid stories.
Oh man.
Who wants to kick it off?
I have okay, I've got one.
You got one?
I've got one.
Okay.
Oh man, I hope my dad never sees this.
He probably will.
Man.
Okay, this is a stupid kid and adult story.
Okay.
It's one
Adults
of
can
my
be
favorite
stupid too.
childhood stories. When I was a kid, I was living in Las Cruces, New Mexico, and that's where I went to.
You mean Las Cruces?
Las Cruces?
Pretty sure that's how you say it.
I was in 1st or 2nd grade, and I rode my bike all the time. I lived right up the street from the school, and I would ride my bike from my house to the school. After school, there was this giant hill, and then awesome playground.
That sounds nice.
Well-funded school at the bottom. So I after school one day, I'm alone. I hop on my bike, and I go, and I'm riding my bike around the school, and there are some older kids, maybe 4th or 5th graders, shooting some b-ball.
Outside of the school.
Yes,
What
precisely.
are the chances?
And so I don't know. I guess I was bothering them with my bike riding, so they were.
Would
they
you
were-
say a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in your neighborhood?
That's where the likeness of the stories end.
Okay, you didn't end up in Bel Air.
No, I did not.
That's unfortunate.
So they were
ended up in
bullying me.
Memphis.
I think they were throwing the basketball at me, and that upset me as a child. So I went home and told my dad, who may have been woken up from a nap. And I never thought this was weird until I remembered this repressed story. Because what that person that is my father did was took his BB gun out. Which was like one of the real, it's metal, like it's actually a
It
pistol.
looks like a
it looks
gun?
like a gun. And duct taped it to the front of his bike.
That took a turn I did not expect. Duct tape? Okay, what's he doing with this? To his bicycle?
He duct taped the BB gun to his bike and said, "All right, let's go." And
Was the plan to when he got there rip it off? Or was there some mechanism to the trigger where he could like hit his brake?
no, I think what my dad had planned on doing was going and
Like
threatening to shoot some children at the park.
They scare some sense into him, I guess.
But by the time we had gotten back to the park, they were gone.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So how about that awkward ride back to the house? Oh, I guess we didn't get to shoot those kids.
Boy, that is a good story. Phil, do you have anything?
Not like that necessarily.
Okay.
But my favorite story to tell is
Dumb kid.
When I was younger, I lived down the hill from a couple of dudes, and they were the only friends that lived anywhere near me, because I live in the sticks. And one day we thought it would be a great idea.
We may have to save it for Stupid Kid Stories Part 2.
We had the dumb idea to play bike tag.
Yeah, okay.
Which is,
do you just run into each other?
Yeah, you just run into each other with your bike.
That sounds pretty dumb.
Kids games were the best.
Like about 2 turns in, I got tagged. I got tagged real good. Flew off my bike, hit the ground.
You're it!
It's totally fine for a minute, and then I look down and I have this giant bloody gash with a giant rock sticking out of my knee.
It's good stuff.
So
that was like a shark fin.
Yeah,
just
it was.
Like coming out of your leg.
It was. I've
That's
still got
amazing.
the scar somewhere, but so I go.
He's hiding it.
Is it on your knee?
It is actually on my knee. I just don't remember which one it was. Because now I just have so many scars all over my knee.
Is it your right knee or your left knee?
It could be one or the
Or
other.
your weenie?
So went to talk to their parents and show them my wound.
Were you like trying to get him in trouble?
No, I was like,
Dude, you're proud of it?
I was like, no, can you help me? I don't know what to do.
I'm bleeding out slowly.
Help me.
At first,
The wound's beginning to smell a bit like almonds.
the first thing they do is try to pull it out, right?
Oh, that's smart.
Like, ah, ah, ah!
You gotta get the pliers
So
out,
let's
man.
get the pliers. So we get the pliers. And it's in there really good. So they call my parents. My parents come running literally up the hill. And my dad's yanking at it. And my mom's yanking at it.
It sounds like the scene from Talladega Nights where he's got the knife in his leg and he's like, wait, I got this other knife. Let me dig it out.
So eventually, like, we give up because we're like, why won't this rock come out? So I go and I get minor surgery to get this thing out of my knee. And I'm like high as a kite afterward, too. It was fantastic.
Typical Tuesday for Kid Phil.
Yeah, it really was at that point. Like, they would just take me to the doctor. I'd have all kinds of crazy stuff.
How
Pulled
big
it
was
out.
this rock? Okay.
It wasn't that big. It had a
What,
giant
if it's
hook on
that-
the end of it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
and it had gotten lodged under my patella.
So they were just pulling your bone.
Yeah, they're pulling my bone.
You know what?
He was just like, this isn't working.
So far, 2 out of 3 of our dumb kid stories have been dumb parents.
And you had like 4 parents working
I
on
had
it.
4 parents trying to pull a rock out of my
Holy
knee.
crap. That is insane.
It's a good story.
Oh,
though.
man, this definitely is going to merit a Stupid Kid Stories Part 2 in a
probably.
couple months. All right.
Man, I was a dumb kid.
So my story is... I feel kind of bad about it. I'm going to be honest.
No, you don't.
No, I do.
All right.
It was one of the more mean things I ever did as a child.
Oh, okay. As a child.
Yeah.
Fewer mean things done as a child.
Right. Well, when you're an adult, you can just like, ha, just kidding.
Not really.
Just kidding when I called you that name.
JK, the
LOL.
truth.
All right, so I was a kid. I lived in a trailer park.
Cool.
Okay.
There was like these 2 rows of trailers, and back behind is where all the kids went and played. One time I cut my hand out there breaking glass. That's the kind of
Trailer
woods
kids
these were.
do.
Yeah.
Makes
So we had this little tree house. It was like a triangle placed between 3 trees.
Okay.
It was just kind of wedged in there. So me and my friend Cody would hang out there with our club. We had rules. We had the whole deal. He had a sign for it. He had a sign for our club that had the MC Hammer lyrics. I don't remember why in particular, but there was MC Hammer inspired rules for the club. So there's this other kid. I think his name was like Trey or something. I don't remember. He wanted to be in our club.
Wanted to be
And
the very best.
We always kind of used him because his parents were divorced and he had nice toys.
Yeah, doubly nice toys.
Yeah, I mean that's how it happens. So we would use them to play as video games and stuff. So we would mess with them all the time. But this particular time was the worst. It was the worst, guys.
What did you do?
So we told them there was an initiation.
Oh, jeez.
For the club. And we all just beat them up.
Ah!
But the thing I remember, the worst part about it though, was I remember saying, "I've got this thing for you," and I literally just opened my hand and punched him in the face. How terrible is that?
You should feel really bad.
I did. I still do. Obviously, I remember
You
it.
should apologize to him.
I don't know who he is.
I don't even know who he
Find
is.
him.
He probably is gone from this world. After
He
all,
killed himself?
I don't know. I could see that after what we did to him.
Like it didn't get better from there?
This
It just
was
got
after.
progressively
This
worse?
was after he ran the gauntlet of the normal. Like, you got to eat these bugs.
Oh my! That was the final
Stand on
thing.
your head for 3 hours. You know,
Just
that
like-
kind of
You
stuff.
gotta go steal gum.
And then the last thing was we just beat him up.
Well, did he get in?
No.
What? Let him in the club?
We were never gonna let him
Were you
in the
like,
club.
sorry, man, we tried to beat you up, but you just didn't get beat up good enough, so you can't be in the
The
club.
plan was to never let him in the club.
Oh.
Man, stupid kids.
Yeah,
That is messed
they were
up.
awful.
I know.
Let me tell you one more.
Okay.
It's in
Wait,
that vein.
What's our time here?
I'll make it quick.
Okay, we're good.
I'm in and out real quick.
Yeah.
Just juka.
Per
Okay?
the usual.
So I'm hanging out with some older kids across the street. This
Uh-huh.
is still in Las Cruces, by the way.
All the good stuff happens
Yeah,
in
and
Las
there was
Cruces.
Las Cruces. There's this girl across the street who's cute. She's a couple grades ahead of me. She had some friends, and she did. They were having like a water fight or something like that, and like bunch of friends over, and I came over and was having a good time, but she hit me with the hose or something. Like, I got it way worse.
Hit me with the hose.
I got watered on way worse than anybody else, and like it upset me.
When you said hit me with the hose, you mean the water from the hose?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
I
think it
always
was-
thought she beat you with the hose.
No, like it was like squirt gun fight,
Okay.
and then
But
she
she got out the hose.
turned the hose on me.
Just fire
And
hose
I'm the
you.
only one that was totally drenched, and I didn't have like a squirt gun. I was just hanging out, laughing.
Mm-hmm.
So in my mad child mind, I went back inside my house and boiled a pot of water.
I hope this plan does not finish. I really
And I put it in a tea jug.
Like a non-meltable tea jug?
Well, I don't know, a
It
picture.
did, okay, but it didn't like melt away.
No, it
or
was just
anything.
hot. I mean, it wasn't like, on fire. I don't know.
I don't know if you should tell this story.
I blacked out and don't remember what happened, but I do know that tea jug got emptied on a girl.
Were there permanent burns?
No.
It cooled off
Not
enough by
that-
then, I guess?
I don't know. I know that there wasn't huge repercussions for what happened.
Yeah, so it couldn't have been that bad.
But I do know that in my mind, I was like, I'm going to pour boiling water on this girl for hitting me with the hose water.
Jeez.
All right, so just a few quick hits. There was a time I painted a propane tank with mud. That's a good story. There was a time that I broke the glass and cut my hand. That's a good story.
Okay.
There was a time there was a giant fort of cut down trees behind the house that was definitely a hazard to play in.
Okay.
So many good stories.
I got
from the trailer
attacked
park.
by a dog.
Yeah.
All right. Did I mention I was attacked by a dog?
Yeah, you did.
I threw my cousin down a flight of stairs.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Dude, if you guys...
Found out I'm allergic to helium.
Oh, you found out.
Yeah.
Huh, that seems like a bad time.
Be a great story.
All these stories and more on the next iteration.
Hey, if it
of
makes it back
Stupid
to the
Kid
list.
Stories. Yeah.
It's got to make it back to the list.
You know.
Phil, you got...
I'll leave you with this small teaser because
Okay.
I'm definitely going to tell it next time if we get
Uh-huh.
another one. It involves playing baseball,
That's fun.
the barn, ball rolling under the barn, and me finding something that I did not want to find.
All right.
And the barn. Under the barn.
Under the barn.
Huh. Okay. Well, cool. There you have it for dumb kid stories.
Yeah.
If you have some cool dumb kid stories, hit us up in the comments below. We're going to randomize a whole nother topic.
Woo! Topic number 2. Mac versus PC.
It's Mac versus PC, guys.
Mac versus PC.
Oh, is this going to get heated? Are we going to battle? Because I think we're all on the same page. I will, right at the very beginning of this, I want to throw my line down the middle, and I will say that I appreciate both of them, and they both have a place in this world.
As cruddy as it is for a discussion, that's pretty much how I feel. Now, there are specific use cases for each one.
Absolutely.
And pretty much, I would say PC is your gaming. It's your servers. It's your stuff that needs control. You need to nitpick it.
Upgradability. Customization.
Sure, yeah. But if you just want something pretty powerful that will just work for your creative stuff, you get you a Mac.
Get your Mac. And you won't get lost in all of the customization, and you'll be able to focus on actually making a good product because it is somewhat limiting in that aspect.
It just works.
Yeah, it works. You don't have to bend stuff
Well, it's
around.
also because the biggest creative softwares cater to Mac, it seems like. Yeah. Which is getting away from that. But there for a while, like if you wanted to use certain software...
Yeah.
It's like you're using Mac, which is still the case with Final Cut because that's Apple.
Yeah.
But that is still I would say one of the top 3 editing suites for video.
Yeah.
Do you have a solid winner for one or the other?
Well, any day of the week I'm gonna go with PC.
But what do you use any day of the week?
That's more complicated.
It's a Mac.
No, well, not necessarily. Because if I'm at home, I'm not using my Mac. I'm using my PC. Now, every day at work, we have Macs that we use, but I don't.
That's just because that's what we were given.
Yeah.
That MacBook Air is nice and light. Yeah. I do like that about it.
I think that as far as functionality in the mobile world, like iPad, iPhone,
dude,
Air,
if it's mobile, I'm Apple all the way.
Yeah. Yeah,
all the way. Get that Android stuff out of
I
there.
will admit, absolutely, that with the other things you can do cooler stuff with.
Sure.
However,
I wouldn't do it.
It only works half the time, and would you really?
I wouldn't. Some people would. I get that. I wouldn't. I just want my phone when I turn it on to work.
Yeah, like make an app to do what I want, and then it will work good, and I can rely on it.
That's a big thing, too. I bought into Apple Mobile when they first started doing apps, and that was before there was really any other option.
Yeah.
So I bought into that, and I was just like, you know what? It's working. I got no problems with it. No need to fix it.
All of my work stuff is Android and PC. All of my personal stuff is Mac completely. So I have to have both all the time.
It's also the promise of Apple is like all your stuff can talk to each other.
Yeah.
And I really wish they would fix that promise.
Yeah, I've never had that work for me.
Yeah,
not even once.
What do they call it? Where you can send stuff.
AirDrop
works about
dude,
half the time.
Yeah, my phone and my computer rarely will talk to each other.
I feel like there's something that we, the consumer, aren't doing right.
Well, they would say that.
That's the problem, though.
And then
that's the whole point.
The people at Mac, or Apple, are they don't oh, what are you talking about? Works fine for us because we've got that one setting that y'all don't know about. Clicked on.
Well, it's like you got your Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Cool. Good to go.
No, it's not working. Fix it. But I personally, if I had to pick one forever and always, it would be PC. Mm-hmm. Just because you can do almost everything you want to do on a PC.
I think that the fact that most people get lost in with the whole discussion is when you say Mac, you are specifically talking about Macintosh computers, Apple computers, and you're only ever going to be able to use their OS.
Yep.
When you talk about PC is an architecture,
and
so is Mac.
That boot camp, is that what it's called?
Yeah, but you're not natively
it's still
controlling it. But with PC, you are not limited. You can even put OS X, which I don't know why you would want to. I know I thought about doing it.
You did, I remember that, and you seemed excited.
But then I got away from it real quick because I realized how dumb it was.
It's pretty dumb.
For me, the biggest deal is that you can run Linux, which is...
Linux.
Now, I think we can all agree, well, me and Travis at least, that Linux is good for nothing.
Dude.
Unless you want to make a server.
Unless you're like an IT guy.
Linux
you're running
is...
your own.
Unless you just want to be different.
Linux is the base operating system of Mac, specifically.
Okay,
It's
that's
Unix.
fine.
Yeah.
So,
That doesn't mean anything, though.
And you literally can't do anything to the base of
It's
Mac
not
OS X.
user-friendly enough for people that are not educated or that they don't have some sort of degree or certification in.
Yeah, but like for 90% of people, they're never going to touch Linux and know it. They may touch it on their phone on their like electronic device and never know it.
In an app or something like that, and they won't realize it.
And they're just missing out, man.
No, it's no. It's no.
It's so much. Okay.
It's so user unfriendly.
That's where like my brain, it just has
getting into his brain
has
again.
so much fun writing command line codes to like update
Instead of pushing
install,
a button.
Yeah.
Instead of dragging and dropping or clicking.
Yeah, that's silly.
Type sudo apt-get install transportation key. Yeah. Like that. Man, that is so fun.
No, it isn't. No.
Because it's like...
Well, you're doing two different things. If I'm doing it, I'm doing it because I want the end result to work. If you're doing it, you're doing it because it's fun for you to do
process.
The process is really fun.
Yeah, I just want to get things done.
Yeah, I want it to work.
The process is no fun usually.
It's almost...
It's like if I get in my car to drive somewhere, I want to be able to drive somewhere. If you like building cars, so you build a car so that you're able to drive somewhere, it's a completely different thing.
What if you had to stop like every 5 minutes on your trip and like type something into your car just to get there?
To rebuild the engine every time.
That's silly.
I like the process is what's most fun to me. And like I have more fun with if something doesn't work, of going back and like retracing my steps to see where the code didn't go right.
Future topic: automated cars.
Womp womp.
Okay.
Hey, let's get back to it. This is Mac versus PC.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say that though I prefer using Mac, and my answer is going to be Mac because of my computing habits, I will say that the filing system in a Mac is what infuriates me the most.
It's doo-doo.
I'm sure it makes sense somewhere to someone, and I'm sure I'm not doing it right, but at least on a PC, it's like I understand it.
Yeah, like it makes logical sense.
Well, let me throw this out there to you. It's because it's more Unix-based than Windows-based. Like, Windows-based filing system is like...
So you're telling us
here's
Linux
my
is
computer.
Bad.
Well, just the way that the file system works.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard too.
Because like there's a home folder, and then there's a workstation folder, and then there's this folder and that folder, and then...
You know how Windows works, though? It's like folder. It's got a folder. It's got a folder. It's got a folder. It's got a folder. And it's got a folder. And as many folders in folders as you want to make.
Yeah. And you make it.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, this and this and this and this and this and this and this. This makes sense.
Yeah.
No, this is in this other thing that's not linked to this thing at all. They're not in the same thing. And if you want to get to this other thing, you got to click this dumb line at the top of your window that's hidden, and then find the other thing that you need where your thing is.
Or you're never gonna find it.
Yeah, or never find it.
Is.
Yeah. Oh, that's dumb.
But don't worry, because it's copied 4 times throughout your computer.
It's possible too. I've run into that on PC as well.
I've actually run into a big issue lately that specifically Premiere, After Effects, and Photoshop,
Inside Baseball,
and Media Encoder all like to cache things on your C drive.
in different spots.
No, in the same spot, but they all like to cache it. So every time I would be rendering a file, it would render twice.
Yeah, you've got this 94
nice.
gigabyte file.
Yeah.
I think Pro Tools used to do stuff like that when I used to do a lot of
So
music.
I've had to go in and find all the media cache
PC.
files. PC.
Mac. Looks like you're wrong, buddy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Man, I'm surprised you didn't just say Linux. Okay.
Well, it's because PC means that architecture.
It's closer to
Personal
Linux.
computer is what it means.
Yeah.
I mean, in the way it works, it's closer to Linux. Like, it's just more
That's what, like,
changeable.
Mac is like Linux if you didn't have all of the options. Okay. Like, because literally the terminal that you use on Mac is exactly the same as the terminal that you use on...
You know what I'm never going to touch?
Terminal.
Command line. Get out of here.
Command line is really cool.
No,
I grew up in the 90s. I didn't program in the 90s.
There were a few things that I had to go into command line for just because I wanted to do dumb stuff on my PC when I was younger.
Like when you wanted to delete a disk partition the other day, and it can destroy an entire computer.
Delete C drive.
I used to format through command prompt, and I would do my IP renewals through command prompt.
I remember this one time that I wanted to make video backgrounds for my desktop before it was an actual feature. I had to do all kind of weird dumb stuff in the command line. It was dumb, but I got it working. I had jellyfish swimming around on my desktop. It's good times. Also, my computer always ran like, woo! So there's that.
That's one way to do it.
Yeah, I did it. HD moving backgrounds.
Ugh.
Yeah, I remember those.
I still want them.
So hey, tell us about your experience with Mac versus PC.
Yeah.
Are you typing it from a PC or a Mac? Are you putting it on your iPhone, your Android device?
I bet that some of you have very strong opinions.
I would hope so.
And I welcome them. I want to hear why one is better than the other. Not necessarily why one sucks. I don't really care about why one sucks.
No, I
want to know why one is good.
Why you choose to do what you do.
Sell me.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, what works for you won't work for me.
All right, so look forward to talking to all you PC fanboys in the comments below.
Also,
Gamer's Life.
One more time here. Patreon is where you can suggest topics for this show. We'll work them in.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing 2 every Saturday, so there's going to be plenty of opportunities to get them worked in here.
Yeah. And come back every Saturday for this show.
Yeah, the Dudes in Space Vidcast.
Video podcast.
Yeah.
It's like a podcast, but with videos.
We'll see you in the future.
Bye.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. New videos come out on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Check out some of these sweet videos. Go to patreon.com/dudesinSpace if you'd like to give us your support.